Yes, 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 yes. So I am so excited to see you. Like, oh my goodness, especially to see you and it be about you. Because one thing I can say is you're always catapulting someone else. And so I was just like, I'm trying to get to you, sis. I'm trying to
Oh
get
my,
to you.
well,
Yes.
thank you, because I was taken aback when you initially sent the email. You was like, well, let's congratulations. Let's 20 years is a big deal. Let's put you on the
Yes.
cover. I was like, on the cover of what? Like of your magazine. And remember, I said, girl, you don't have to put me on the cover. You know, if you want to give me a little page or a paragraph in the inside, I'm totally fine with that. Like when you said cover, I really was like, oh, I don't. Girl, are you selling these things? I don't, I want you to make money. I don't, no, Tia, I'm not even joking. I was like, oh my gosh, she's going to put me on the cover. What if nobody buys it? Like, I don't, you had Stacey Abrams on the cover. You had Cynthia Bailey on the cover. The first issue that I saw had Melody from Love and Marriage.
Yeah, Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Yes.
So in my mind, I'm like, and you want to put me on the cover? Why?
Of course.
Listen, I really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. It says a lot about
you have done a lot. And I don't even think you stop to smell your own flowers. You're so busy propelling so many other women and men, especially in book publishing, which is honorable. It's very humbling. I love that. But I am here to celebrate women in general. So you can't keep skating by me 2 or 3 times. And I'm like,
you're like, listen, you're not going to keep pitching me other people. Right. And we not put you in the magazine.
Right. And so true story, everybody, true story. She was supposed to be December for her birthday, for her 20-year anniversary. But the one thing that I do love and respect about you, amongst other things, is that you said, no, I'm not ready. It's not the way that I want it to be. So let's try to pivot. And so when I was like, well, if we're going to pivot, let's pivot to Women's History Month. Because 20 years in the game with all these featured writers, authors, and being in all these different publications, and everybody's talking about you. Who is this chick from New York that's putting all these people in the game? Let's do this. And I'm not taking no for an answer, so I don't care if you got to take a picture with a Polaroid. Listen, we gonna do it.
Wait a minute. And so, as you can see, I have braces on.
Right. It's okay.
And it was a decision.
Mine are coming back, so it's okay. This is.
Listen. So last October, I decided to get braces, but I had to get my wisdom teeth taken out. So over the course of 3 months, I said, okay, consultation with the orthodontist as well as the oral surgeon. Right. And then the next month, okay, getting 3 wisdom teeth taken out at one time, and then waiting for my mouth to heal for 3 weeks, and then going back to get braces. And so I knew that I would have braces on all of 2023, because it's basically me counting back from my 50th birthday, which is March of 2024. Right. And so I was like, okay, oh man, Dad, you want me on the cover? I'm gonna have braces. Oh man, come on. But my significant other was like, he thinks that I look so cute with the braces on. And he's like, Dawn, it doesn't even matter. He was like, listen, that is all capturing a moment in a season in your life. Like, I actually like the fact that like you'll remember that and have that. And so I was overthinking it for a long time. Oh my God, I was overthinking it. And then I was like, you know what? This came to me. Like, you pray, I write down manifestations. I do these meditations every day. And then I always pray, like, God, let me recognize it, because I don't want to be too into my head and overthink and decline an opportunity simply because I'm overthinking it. Somebody has offered to put you on a magazine that's in stores and sold nationally. And you don't want to do it because you got braces on your teeth?
Right.
Please.
Right. You could.
I had to say that to my own self.
Like Cartman's sister, and it is what it is. Like, but that's really what I want to capture. Like, we feel like we just gotta make everything look a certain way to be like, look at the work and the resume that you have. Girl, nobody care about the braces. They like, okay. Right. And now I'm really taking back.
Listen, it doesn't stop people from booking consultations. So yeah, they don't care.
Now I'm taking back because I was like, wait, did she just say she's gonna be 50 next year? I'm not seeing that. So yeah. Now you're gonna have everybody getting braces like, wait, I think it make me look 10 years younger. Let me go get me. Yeah.
So I always say when you have your doctor and your dentist in awe of, when they look at your chart and say, wait, 74. Wait, to be honest, I think I'm older than both of them. My oral surgeon, I mean, they're both Black men, and I believe that I'm older than all of them. And so they're just like, wait, you're how old?
Right.
Okay, sis. Okay, that's right. I said, listen, I can get these grays colored, and so listen, let's straighten these teeth up.
That's right. Yes. That's right.
Loading 35, loading backwards.
Right. That's right. Well, you look great. Because I never asked you your age. I just knew it was going to be your birthday. So I was like, wait a minute, 50?
Yeah, I just turned 49.
Yeah.
I just turned, so being this right here is a great way to celebrate my last year in my 40s. Like this is, this gets framed.
Yeah.
I'm in the process of packing and moving to look for a home, but this is definitely going to be framed and in my living room for all to see.
Yes.
Yeah, Tia, let me tell you something. I realize now, as a publicist, I know that everybody wants to be in print magazines. Print magazines and television are kind of like the holy grail. Right. But then, there was a season like when you and I connected, where like magazines weren't printing anymore.
Right.
Essence went from bi-monthly to now. I don't know when the next time. Whenever an issue comes in, I'm like, oh, okay, I forgot about it because it's so far. It's probably once every 8 months or something. And so knowing that clients want that, but there's that the print was going away, I was like, oh, well, listen, my approach is let's get to digital because you can share that worldwide in a matter of seconds. But I always say, do clients want to be in print? Is it a little bit of vanity? Is it like their ego? So I'm always tickled by it because as a publicist, I'm behind the scenes.
Right.
So every piece of press that I've ever gotten, I've never gone after it. It's come the same way I emailed you about a client and then said, oh, this is what I'm doing. Oh, and this is my 20th anniversary. But again, I'm reaching out to you because I want a client. Can you put this in there? Right. And then you offer. And so now I realize I'm like, you know what? I know why they love the print, because it's one thing to be in the pages, it's another to see your face on the cover.
To see your face, absolutely. And that aha moment, it solidifies everything that you do. Because when I got your email the day before yesterday, and I was like, I know she's not emailing me about another client for the May issue. I haven't even talked to her about being on the cover of March. Like she's just like, okay.
It's like, thank you for putting me on the cover. Okay, now on to bigger business. What do you have planned for May? Like,
right. But see, that's your heart. It just speaks to your heart. Like, I appreciate you celebrating me, but I'm still 10 toes down from my clients. I still want them to win too. And I love that. Like, I love that. Vainglory is real. And so to have somebody who is genuine about, okay, yeah, that was my moment. That's great. I cry about it, or, I'll stare at it tonight, but this moment belongs to you. So let's start doing that. I love that.
I every time I look at it, like, okay, so this picture, when you even said, oh, do you have the picture of the fire? And I said, oh my goodness. My photographer, Mary, she was like, oh, Dawn, I was playing around with something I wanted to try out. And I said, okay, what is it? And she was like, so I want to set a piece of newspaper on fire. So then I started laughing and said, okay, girl, listen, what we're not going to have is no Michael Jackson moments. All right. I'm a Black woman. You know that these braids are not real. So like, let's be clear. Okay. Right. And so we had a good giggle about that. I think she actually got some video, but it came out and she was like, can I post this? Because I didn't think that this was going to be in a magazine. So she was like, can I just post one of the photos just like on social media? And I said, sure. And she posted this one, and people started getting like commenting. And then when I sent the pictures to you, said, oh, where's the one with the fire? And I said, oh my God. Tia wants to fire too. And she was like, yay, it's going to be in the magazine. I said, I guess so. She's going to use it as somewhere.
We tried our best to make that the cover because it was Women's History Month. Women are on fire. It spoke so much, but because we could not figure out what color lettering to put with that it wouldn't bleed into, we struggled for like a week. And then I was just like, you know what? Let's scratch that. Let's go with our original thought. But the fire picture, it just looked like it captured what you do, but it captured how women were, on fire. This is our month. We had songs.
This is our season. This is our season. Every day I watch the news and it's braggable moment. And I know it's Women's History Month, but there's a lot out there about like us starting businesses, starting businesses, the education specifically for Black women. It's just a lot. I saw something today that basically said in the United States, home ownership, there's more single women that own homes than single men. So single women make up 14% of home ownership nationally. Single men make up 11. And some of those single men is by military, or they're in a community agriculture, like in the Dakotas, where they're farmers and they have land and stuff like that. But single women compared to single men, we own 14% of all home ownership in the country.
And that 11% is probably coming from one of my best friends, because he is just on fire with buying stuff.
Oh, really?
Yes. Every time I look, it's a clothing, it's a this, it's a that. And I'm super proud of him for that. But you're absolutely right. That's all they have been talking about, is the way women have been exceeding and doing things beyond. I mean, today I was watching CBS News and they were talking about I don't know what her classification is, but she's with the Oakland Raiders. So I don't know if she's the owner, the manager, the what, but she's the first.
Did she become a coach, or is she front office, or she's on the field?
She's administration and
okay.
That. I don't think she's a co-owner. I think they made her the president.
Okay.
African American female, and it was just like, oh my God, like we touching everything, and so that has to be celebrated. We have to talk about the good things and the things that are happening, and even down to, I don't want to not talk about our celebrities, but the celebrities kind of hide behind the everyday woman, because it's easier to say, oh my God, I read Dawn's story and I feel like I can possibly do that one day, than to read Beyonce's story and just be like, you know what, God broke the mold with her and I'm gonna leave it at that. So I try to lead the two. We always have someone where people feel like I can reach that. It's a target. Because I remember reading through magazines and I'm like, oh, that's a real nice outfit. Nope, I don't have $3,000 to buy that. So, I'm still flipping. But you always wanted to see someone that looked like you, but also had the same background or the same story.
Right.
It makes you feel like, you know what, I could do this. Versus someone who is just from Venus and you're just like, okay, that happened for them and it'll be another 20 years before it happens to someone like them. So I really appreciate the fact that you and the other women who come through the magazine, they give their transparency and they lay it all on the line. Like, I didn't know you were a marathon runner. I didn't know that you lost your dad. So that resonated with me because I had lost my dad. And then I'm like, how many readers are reading this and they have lost their dad? So it's like, wow, look at this full circle moment, but this is achievable,
That's what I like about the magazine. When I first connected with you and reached out, I was like, oh my God, I saw this magazine. It was in Barnes and Nobles in the Charlotte Mall, like 3 miles away. And I was like, oh my God, this is so nice. And I remember saying the quality of it.
Yes.
And so when they came in the mail, and I told my boyfriend, I said, oh, I'm going to open the box and do a little video. But when I actually held it, we were in the car and I was like, oh my God. I was like, look how nice it is. And he goes, and look at that. Beyonce's name is on the cover, but it's your face that we see. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah, he was really proud. I was like, I'm going to show this to your mom.
Yes.
But again, like the title of the magazine, Resilient. So, oftentimes celebrities eventually will tell their stories, or we just basically see their whole life play out on national television. And
Right.
so to me, I'm like, to be on the cover of this type of magazine, you have to share things about yourself
Right.
that aren't the sexiest things to share. Like when I first started, it was 8 years after starting my business before I would even mention in my talks and things that I had been fired from my last job.
Right.
So I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years because in December of 2004, the woman I was working for fired me. 3 months later, she asked me to come back to work because it was a knee-jerk reaction. And she had somebody in her ear, but I was fired 2 weeks before Christmas
Wow.
and given a $2,000 Christmas bonus, and that was it. I went home and cried about it for 2 days. The guy I was seeing at the time was so heated about the situation. He was like, "Listen, I'm gonna give you 2 days to cry about this, and then I'm coming back. I'm coming back, and we either opening up a business bank account or we going to Kinko's and printing out more resumes. But what we're not gonna do when I come back is be crying about this woman no more. You don't work there anymore, so now we're moving on." And I had already had 2 clients on the side. And so I was like, you know what? I can't allow any one person to pull the rug from under my feet again. And so I want to I want to work for myself. And that
Right.
was 20 years ago.
Yes.
And that was 20 years ago. So again, something as simple as saying, sometimes being fired is because you are in your head too much about taking the leap. So God is just going to push you off the cliff because he already knows that your wings will spread. Just like a bird, just like a baby bird. Like, at a certain point in time, they get a little, all right, go out there, because their parents already know that their wings are going to open. The baby bird just doesn't know it. and so I feel like that, look how many authors I've been able to help and impact.
Right.
Versus just working with that one. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm in divine purpose. Like I didn't have an education in book publishing. So I'm here because this is where God wants me to be.
Right.
All of my clients come through referrals or online research. So again, I'm where I'm supposed to be because I didn't even, it was effortless. And I enjoy the work.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the work. Yeah, but
And
I'm where I'm supposed to be.
Story, because if you think about it, this is probably why you don't look like you're about to be 50 now, because you got free. And in the process of being free, it allowed you to do what you love to do. So it's no stress. It does come with hiccups, but it's not to the point where you don't want to quit what you're doing.
Right. I do not.
Look for other means to make things happen, or you look for other ways to circumvent anything that could occur. And that's true resilience. Like, okay, I see this barrier. I see you don't want to really read my author's work right now, but if I go over here, eventually it's going to make its way back over there. You just look for ways.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what I do. That is exactly, I'll say circle around. Okay, listen, might not have anything now, but you know what? Keep this on the radar for May. Even if that means sometimes, in some cases, where the client is no longer even under contract.
Right.
But if there's a thing and I just believe that it's a fit and the producer likes me and they're like, okay, Dawn, like, work with me. We're going to see if we can make this happen. Because I believe that whenever it happens, we're still going to get the same effect. It doesn't matter if it happens 6 months after the book came out. When it happens is when it's supposed to happen. And it's just a matter of letting the authors know that. We just recently had a placement where the author did the interview in November. It literally went live on March 7th. So every month, like, oh, did it go live? Did it go? Nope. I reached out to the right. It didn't go live yet, March 7th. But she did the interview in November. So we can't control that. So I'm like, listen, whenever it hits, it's going to be whatever you got going on. It'll complement that whenever it hits.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. I really do love that. First of all, I love those earrings. I have a friend here who opened her earring line. It's called New Hoops. And she had, yes, I will send you the info. So you can.
I love earrings. I like big.
And you remind me, when I first came on and I saw them, I was like, oh, she giving me LL vibes. Because,
Yes, I was going to say bamboo earrings. Girl. Yes. You know why? Because I knew I was going to be talking to a Black girl. So, sometimes I don't necessarily always, you got to pick and choose what conferences or what Zoom calls you show up with the, with the Black girl paraphernalia on. But these bamboo earrings, I don't care who else wears them. LL was talking about us. And so, this is my ode to my urban dwelling that, because now I'm here in Charlotte. My mentor keeps saying, listen, you belong to us now. You like Charlotte, you are a product of Charlotte. And I was like, okay.
Yes.
It's an adjustment because I'm such a New Yorker that is, I'm working on it.
Well, it's all good. I love them. And again, it's New Hoops. So I will send you her contact information.
Yeah.
She has the bamboo thing going on. She got it in black too. It's real classy. Yes.
Yeah, I have to ask you this question since we're talking about this issue.
Okay.
All of the images are so strong. Like I remember you telling me about how you come up with your color themes.
Yes.
So the black and gold came from what I was wearing.
Yes.
Because I'm like, oh my God, like all of the pictures. I'm like, he was like, all the pictures seem to complement. And I was like, I know she's always done colored themes, but this is really, because I'm used to seeing the brighter colors. And I was like, wow, like this is amazing.
I tell my team that I like for the cover to set the tone of the magazine.
You did tell me that, yes.
You are very powerful. You're also calm. You're not rah, like So I wanted it to have I like consistency. I like for it to flow. And for me, it just be me, but if something gets real busy and it's not going with my cover, I can't, some colors are very hard to blend. So we look for 3 colors in an image. If you have black, if you had gold, if you had white, then we look for those 3 colors to bounce off so that the flow of the magazine. So you might flip a page and see all black. You might flip a page and see black and gold. You might flip a page and see white, black and gold. But you have to be able to do it like an accordion and still feel like it went together, not throw together, but flowed together. So
listen, oh my God. Every time I look at this and the number of pages, I'm like, okay, it's 1. And then going through, I'm like 2. I'm like, oh my God, like this is really
you. It's about you. And I always want my covers.
And you used all the photos. I couldn't believe it.
Yes. Because it showed a different side of you. I did like the colors. I did like that, but I had that after I was again sold on the fire one. And then from the fire we went to the next one. So I was like, well, man, you know what? If we'd have saw the colors, we could have really did an early spring, but it was so serious. And then once we had the Beyonce photo, I was just like, oh yeah, we running with all of this because even she came with black on and her hair was gold. So it was just like, here you go.
Oh my God. It was right. It was supposed to be. Well, no, I mean, I enjoyed taking the pictures because I remember like maybe oh my God, was it the night before or 2 nights before? I still wasn't sure what I was going to wear. And I called Mary and was like, oh my God, like I've been so busy with work that this is such an important moment for me. And I haven't even been able to pivot and give myself the attention and the fuss that I would give for somebody else being on the cover for the first time. And I called and I was like, oh, I'm in the mall. And I was like, I got a few things. And then I came home and I was like, okay, let me take out all the things that I would want to see myself in. And then she was like, okay, bring this, bring that. And I said, okay. And then when I looked, I'm like, okay, the leather was one thing. This was like the work look, which was the one on the cover. And then the floral dress. So I was like, okay, you know what? Yes, look at that. They all worked out.
Right. And see that leather, that showed a different side of you because I've always seen you either neck up Zooms or talk to you in email. So I was like, wait, okay, come on, woman.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a good day. At the end of the day, I'm just a girl who loves to have my picture taken. Oh my God, I so wish my dad was here to see this. I sent a copy to my mom and my aunts. That's why I was like, oh no, Tia, you got to send me. Because my mom and my aunts, they all go, wait a minute, me first. I got you all. Relax, I got you all. Get in line, single file, ladies.
Right.
But yeah,
this reached out. I was like, okay, well, I can send them to Walmart. And then when I get on Walmart had 2 left, and I was like, oh God, So it, yeah.
I'm okay. So do you know what cities and states that the publication is in?
It's pretty much it's regional. So when I first did the talks with Barnes and Nobles, they would dictate where it would land, and I was like,
yes, they do that for books and authors as well. Like if you're self-published, yeah.
yeah, but see, with the magazines, what's not sold, I can't get back. So I was like, no, I don't want you to put it in Montana because I don't know anybody. I don't have an attraction there to support you distributing there. So believe it or not, my distributor is on the East Coast.
Okay.
People who are on the East Coast, they pretty much get there sooner than the West Coast. Well, I switched that up when Cynthia Bailey's issue came out because she was like, I want to have money in my hand by this day because I'm going here. So I switched up the distribution to distribute to the West Coast and work its way back. But now it puts where, some of my East Coast people are getting it in the middle of the month. So, of course, then I'll be like, hey, what do we need to do to push it up where everybody gets, but the stores
at the same time,
stores have it on day one, and it's no complaint whatsoever because to be 3 years old and have this kind of traction from something that just started out when you were talking about the pages. We started at 25 pages, honey. The first issue had 25 pages, and it wouldn't even print like that because it was only 25 pages.
Right, it's not enough pages to. Mm-hmm.
Right. And so from there, we just grew. The reason why it's 80 is because technically it was supposed to be 81. I pinned everything off of my birthday, which is 5981. If you look at the ISBN number, it has 5981 in my barcode. But you can't have,
really? Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. You can't have 81 pages. So it stopped at 80. Yes.
Okay.
But that's where it came from. And when I totally agree with you. Every day I'm like, man, Daddy, if my dad was here, you wouldn't have any to buy because he would buy all of them every month.
Listen, I say the same. My father's the same person, like to give stuff out to the people at the post office. I'm like, Daddy, like what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
My dad, here's a great example of how our relationship was. When I was still working for Terry Woods at the time, and I went to Kinko's and printed up a card. My first email was blessedmedia@aol.com. This is when you had to go to the post office and get the little CD to put I'm dating myself. But you had to put the little CD. And so I went to Kinko's. It was a white card, and it just said Dawn Michelle Hardy. And it said, my aunt had always told me to use my full name. She said, because even if I get married and my last name changes, I'll be branded by my first and middle name. So it'll always be Dawn Michelle, regardless of if my last name changes. So I had Dawn Michelle Hardy, book publicist, my email address, and my phone number. When my dad passed away and I was like going through his things, he had this wallet that I used to be like, Daddy, when a man has to use rubber bands, it's just time to get a new wallet. Like that would be the joke. But he was like, no, it has everything I need in here. So as I'm going through, I'm like, okay, oh my God, old pictures. My dad had my old business card in his wallet. The number's not the same. The only thing that is still the same on there is that my name is Dawn Michelle Hardy and I'm still a book publicist. The company name wasn't, nothing else was the same, but that was in his wallet. And so he died in December of 2016. I started my company and created those business cards in December of 2004.
Right.
So for 12 years, my father carried around my very first business card that I created as an entrepreneur. And so he would have boxes of these and be standing at the traffic light just giving them away. My daughter's on the cover here, take a copy. My daughter's on the cover, take a copy. Because that's the type of, when I saw that, I was like, oh, I always knew my dad loved me, but just seeing that, I was like, my father was proud of the fact that I started a business. Like, really? You have your daughter's first business card?
Yeah.
I printed it out at Kinko's. I didn't even have a logo.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, and that's really why, I put so much emphasis into the quality of it, because I know being an African-American, the expectation is not there for me to have something crisp or to that magnitude. It does get expensive, but it's what I want. I want it to, like you said, when you saw it on that shelf, I want it to be.
Excited. I was like, oh,
like I want
What
to
is this?
like, wait, who is that? Yeah. And so that's what I wanted to see. And I'll never forget, my mom is 80 years old, and she came to my birthday party last year, and she said, no, 2 years ago, and she said, my daughter has a magazine and it's on good paper. And everybody was like, good paper. And I was like, yes, that if you don't remember.
Mom said, listen, because there's some magazines out there now.
Yes.
But they're not on good paper.
Yes, yes. And so we invest in that. I even had someone as recent as January, when we were filming, say, are you getting your magazine printed out the country? And I said, no, it's being printed here. And here just because of the quality of it. But I was like, no, this is a magazine catering to African American women, and you are going to see them at their best. On the back of your magazine is
the House of Flawless.
Yes, House of Flawless. That is a good friend of mine, Aloris Cornelius Norris. She has the House of Flawless. She just wrapped for The Spark, which is currently on Apple TV, and she brought me along with her. But prior to that, like,
so she's a makeup artist.
Oh, absolutely, and she sells and distributes makeup.
Okay.
So
oh my God,
I love Mac to death, but I haven't been in Mac since I met her.
Got it. Okay. Yep.
She has that long stay wear that I gotta scrub it off. Yeah, so I love it. But that's what it's all about. Like this Mac, it's about propelling women in all facets of women. Like we're talking about life, we're talking about inspiration. My writers, I have to give it up to them because they write stuff that I'm just like, oh my God, I hope you're writing a book one day, because I don't want this hidden behind the magazine. I hope you are saving this and using it to your advantage. And they are, believe it or not, and that's the goal.
Everybody who has ever been featured in this magazine is going to use it in some type of way, for their next strategic thing. Because even simply going to the website and seeing, because I think I saw it on Instagram, the marketing image where you use the image of the fire, but then it had like the cover. And so then when I was like, oh yes, okay, I remember that they had it online. So when I went online, and it was literally just to share the link so that my assistant can see it, I looked and I scrolled through and I was like, oh my God. Like, so now I understood what you meant about like the marketing images. And I was like, oh my God, I want all of these. I was like, just seeing that.
What happens is after you roll off, then your link goes up. So it'll still have your picture, and then it'll have where people can connect with you, because we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah, okay.
Where people can connect with you. So if you go to the website consists of all past covers.
Yes, it does.
Now it talks about what they do now. So you can follow these people to the ends of the earth. You can stay connected.
Got it. Nice.
To do it. Click on their face, and that's what it's going to be. So on the 31st, which is Friday, you'll roll off of all the displays, but then you'll roll on to the continuation. So your photo will pop up, and now it's like, how can I connect with you for book publishing?
Really?
Yes.
So had you worked at a magazine before? Like, how did you know to do that? What you're just talking about now, just how you transition the cover. You see it all month, and then at the end of the month, it goes into this, but it's still visible. Like, how did you put all of that in place, or even know to do that? Because to be honest, major publications don't do that.
I did not work for another magazine or anything like that. I just knew that it could not stop with just, okay, you're March and thank you.
And then it's over. Yeah,
right. It's not that way. The goal was to, if we're talking about these women, let's continue talking about them. Let's have anniversaries for them. When it's your birthday, let's celebrate the birthdays. Let's whatever. And let's still talk about that. I don't want it to be a one and done, or thank you for being on March, but listen, sweetheart, we're on the April. Even though we start our advertising for the next month on the 25th of the following month, we still celebrate the person who we're in. So I just, I treat people how I would desire to be treated. You know, I don't want to be
that.
I want you to feel like you are needed, and you're needed past this episode or past this reel, past this month. Like, you are needed. And so people go back and look in the archives and say, man, how did I miss this issue? Let me get this.
And that's when you know it's a good publication.
That's how people, it works.
When people go, that's how you know it's a good publication, when people go back and purchase past issues. Because whatever issue brought them, to the site to be aware of the publication, and then when they get there and they start clicking around, oh, okay, I can still order this, and then to know that people are ordering it. Yeah,
right.
This weekend I'm going to go into Barnes and Nobles and Walmart, and I'm gonna find a copy, and I'm gonna make a big fuss. Look for a video. I'm at people's. I'm gonna have total strangers. I'm like, come take a picture with me.
Yes. And see, because in my home city, it hasn't made, I don't know who is on the ordering committee, but it hasn't made it to those stores. So people locally in my home city, they're having to buy them from the website. But then
going into the brick and mortar.
Charlotte, New York, Houston, all these major hubs, and I know I did it demographically speaking. So Atlanta, you know,
because you know where your people are at, you know where your readers are. Yeah.
Right. My tribe, this is where they are, and I want them to have it. The problem is the amount that they have. So some of the stores might carry 5 issues. Some stores might have 10, or so, you know, when they come out, they're gone. But I love it and I appreciate it. And hopefully, you know, we're going to be we're going into volume 4 in June. So hopefully by volume 5, I really want it to be by October of 2024, because that's when our 50th issue will come out. And I want it to be.
Well, you already know 2024, the year of the 50th. Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes. 50.
So I'm putting it out there. Whatever you want for that 50th is happening. It's happening.
Yes, my mom said, she said, you're going to have 50 issues? And I said, yes, Mom, we have had an issue every single month since June 1st, 2020. We haven't skipped a month.
Girl, that is some old school publishing right there.
Yes.
Because now I have a subscription to a couple of magazines, and I'm like, oh my God, when is the next one come? Like, you don't have any, it's like getting a tax refund. Mm-hmm. Whenever it comes in the mail, it comes in the mail. Like, and so to subscribe to a publication and then you don't even know the consistency. It's not a matter of it being late. You don't know, is this monthly? Is this bi-monthly? Is it quarterly? Is it twice a year? 4 times a year? You don't know. You just go to your mailbox on any random day. Oh, okay, here's a copy of so-and-so magazine.
Right.
So the fact that 4 years consistently, 12 issues, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I celebrate them for that. And like I said, October of 2024 is our 50th issue, and we're going to have a good time. I want my writers, I want all of the distributors, I want
you're gonna have some type of shindig, yes?
Oh, I really want a party in Atlanta. Okay. I want it to be gala style, but I want it to be a masquerade. So
sign me up. I got a nice, cute collection of masks. I love it. I love it.
All of the cover features. That's why I want the masquerade, because I want you to be in the room and not even realize who you're standing next to. Like a blended thing. So it's gonna, so we're gonna start planning that after the anniversary of the 4th volume, which is in June. We're going to start planning that for 2024, because it takes me a year to do stuff. Like I salute people who can plan stuff in 30 days, because
I do too.
Like I'm not wired that way, so I can't do that. But you said something very interesting, and I wanted you to touch on that.
Okay.
You are a book publisher. Like, that's what you do. Mm-hmm. So for the women who are reading this and they're sitting on their material, how can they connect? Because some people, they're only going to connect with the woman depending on what they're talking about, or just because because you know how it is to break into the industry.
Yes.
And yes. How does that work?
So, you know, everybody has to do like I did. You have to get out of your own head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, even now I'm working on something and I have to get out of my own head. People can reach out to me at theliterarylobbyist.com and they can book a consultation. If your book is already out and you've self-published it, I have a blog that offers book awards specifically for self-published authors.
Okay.
So you're not necessarily competing with a book from HarperCollins. These awards accept independent and self-published books specifically. And awards are helpful to get just to content in bookstores and libraries and things of that nature. But I always tell people to book a consultation, connect with me, you know, on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, for the simple fact, what I realized from the work that I've been doing is the books will outlive us.
Yes.
This magazine, this particular issue is going to outlive me. So when people write something, whether it's published in a magazine or in a book, that's another way to leave a legacy. So whether you're teaching something, whether you want to share something about yourself or about your family, that
Mm-hmm.
product will outlive you. There will always be a copy in the Library of Congress. And, you know, just like we know that there are a copy of books and things from the 1800s in the Library of Congress. So that's a way to leave a legacy. So get out of your own head and plant the seed of your legacy. So if you have something to share in the form of a book, you should share it. It doesn't matter if it's business, cookbook, children's book, memoir.
Mm-hmm.
Know that that product will outlive you. And for people that you don't know and never will know, if they
Right.
deserve to have that information, then you owe it to them to publish your book.
Yes. And
It's not easy.
you have published a lot of books. And what I
So
mean by
I
that,
promote, so as a so as a publicist, I promote the books and help the author build a platform and gain like reader awareness that this new book is out there. Every now and then, at least once a year, I take on a project where I help someone who wants to self-publish, but this is a learning curve. So I
right.
basically serve as their production manager, and then my team basically helps them go through the same process that an author with Simon and Schuster would go through. But they have all the rights and everything. So they just pay us a project fee to serve as their publishing partner to help them do all the things. So they're not doing it by themselves.
Absolutely. And that's what I meant. I apologize for that word choice. But so, you know, my husband and I run the bookstore and we received something. We're really cool with HarperCollins, especially the children's side.
Yeah.
And Schuster, and we got something in the mail, like a pre-read. And I was like, wait, I know I heard this title before. So I went to one of your emails and it was one of your people. So I was like, wait a minute. He was over here trying to put this person in the magazine. I'm over here holding this pre-read book that, you know, it's not the one that's ready yet. It's like a
the galley, the advanced read copy. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And I was just like, see, this is why she got to be on the cover, because she over here acting like, oh, I just want to introduce you to my author friend. And I'm like, no. I'm seeing something that has your footprint on it on 2 different platforms. So yes. So I strongly urge anyone who's thinking about writing or talking about it, and like you said, have already self-published, to connect with you. It just makes, I mean, coming out of New York, that's the hub. So it is. Yeah, it just, that is all.
Yeah, you know, here's the thing, like this, like I share with people, I didn't choose this career. So I know I'm here because, you know, this is what God wants me to do. You know, and I enjoy it. But what I realized once I started, maybe within my 3rd year in publishing, just working for myself, friends and family started talking about, oh, so-and-so wants to write a book. Oh, you know, my dad one time told my uncle, and then when I went to my uncle's house, he was like, you know, Mr. So-and-so that lives 3 houses down, he has a collection of poetry. You know, you should go over there to, oh my God, Uncle Andre. Okay. Like, okay, I'll go talk to this guy. But I realized that 9 out of 10 people have entertained it or fantasized about it and then kind of just put it down and went on with their lives.
Right.
I mean, I have clients, you know, I work with Clint Smith. I work with the Washington Post sports journalist, Kent Babb. And I remember both of them were not thinking about writing a book. They were doing the work that they were doing. Clint was a Harvard student. Kent was writing for the Washington Post, covering sports. And they were both approached to write books. that they weren't necessarily, they were too busy immersed in the work that they were doing that they didn't think of a book idea. Even Lovey, everybody knows her, professional troublemaker, and I'm Judging You. I know a colleague had reached out to her multiple times and she just wasn't thinking, that's just not where she was. So
Right.
oftentimes, you know, when something is really speaking to you in that form, okay, now it's time for you to start working on it. But again, a lot of people either fantasize about the idea and then say, oh, but I don't even know where to begin, and put it in the back of their brain,
Mm-hmm.
and it never comes up again until they read or meet someone like me that says, oh no, I work with everyday people. Like, it doesn't, you don't have to be a celebrity. And celebrities, their celebrity helps sell books only because I liken it to being in an auditorium. Beyonce can sell out Madison Square Garden. You
Right.
and I have to actually do a lot of work and plan and preparation to
Absolutely.
sell out Madison Square Garden. We can do it, but she's already built the platform over the years that she can do it in a matter of an hour. It might take us a whole year.
Right. Right.
But either way, we can do it if that's what we wanted to do. And so it's just a difference of bestsellers versus somebody who's self-published and only sold 5 books. Is simply that the person who's a bestseller has spent years building up their name, reputation, so that they can fill seats in the auditorium in an hour. The
Right.
self-published author has only spent time focused on the content of the book. And then when they look up, they're like, oh, I don't know who I'm selling this to, because they didn't spend any time working on that. So you just work on it after the fact. The book is out. So, you know, you're not going to undo it. So work on building your platform after the fact. And that's oftentimes what most people miss. They focus on the book's content and never think about, well, how am I going to get this book to the Black women that I'm writing it for?
Right.
And so at some point in time, you have to give that some strategic effort as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and I can help with that. That's what I do.
Okay, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, they're coming.
Listen, girl, I know they are. Listen, I'm about to put on my calendar. I'm like, okay, October of 2023 is the anniversary.
24.
Okay, is the 50th.
The 50th
anniversary. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get some from Renee and everything like that in an email letting you know we're gearing up for that. We're doing a lot of class and everything for that, because we particularly want our subscribers. So I say that because we're at 78,000 in readership.
Nice.
We want our subscribers to have first dibs at coming to that event. It's the 50th issue. You know, we're gonna have all the covers there. So you might walk past yourself and not even realize you just walked past yourself. That is what we're planning, and we have a whole year, a year and a half really to plan for that. So I'm excited about that. I try not to
be so good for you, because you can, all the people that have been on your covers, oh my God, to get as many of those women in a room at one time. Oh my God.
Atlanta, because a good majority of them can get there in an hour.
Absolutely.
Furthest who are out of LA, it's still a direct flight to Atlanta without them having to break off and go someplace else. So
I know Atlanta is perfect. It really is. It really is. Oh my goodness, Tia. Well, listen, I'm excited for you. But again, I can't thank you enough. Every time I look at it, marathoner and New York native speaks to being resilient and propelling Black authors. Like, yes. I'm blushing because in my mind I'm just like, as a kid, my dad used to be like, oh, Donna's just gonna be famous. Like, she's so vain, she loves taking pictures, she talks all the time. And I look at certain things that I did as a child that seemed funny about my personality then, but it is my true identity as a professional now. Like, in high school I was nominated most talkative. Well, guess what? I'm a publicist, and my job is to talk about other people for a living. So the joke is on them. Thank you, class of 92.
Absolutely. Too much, excessive talking, and now I talk for a living.
Right. Now you're a member of the media.
Right. So it's fine. They pushed me into my destiny.
There you go. They were co-signing God's plan before I knew what it was. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yes. But definitely, we are going to stay in touch.
Okay, yes, of course.
That you need anything else, because you're the one that taught me about the tear sheets. We've been using that word ever since you said it. And
yes.
yes. So if you need anything from us, I greatly appreciate it. I'm so proud of what you're doing and what you're doing for other women that look just like us. So that's the goal. That's the goal. If it's only about you, it won't last that long. But like you said, these things have to live past us. So absolutely. I'm glad that you're sowing that seed, and I'm glad that you said yes to being on the cover.
Thank you. I am too. Thank you so much, Tia. Thank you. I really love it.
Yes, you look like Don't Play With Me on that. You was serving. You was giving.
Oh my God! And see, yeah, I gotta tell Mary because oh my gosh, she's so funny. She was like, "Yes, Diva, give it to me." Like she just feeds into my personality in such a way that I was like, I said, "Wait, let me fix myself." I said, "Okay, I'm ready now." I was like, "Back straight." She's like, give me the boss move. Give me the boss move. And I was like, I got you, girl. I got you. Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely had a mindset on this post. It was definitely like, yes, I am the boss of me.
Yes. I am going to connect you with my mentor. I'm going to send you some information with her. Her name is Martha Cooper Hudson, and she is in Charlotte. Oh my God. When you hear me, and I mean hear me now past 5 years, that is all of her. So I give her kudos every chance I get, because she totally got me out of my head. I've been in my head for about 12 years, and she got me out of my head. And now I'm like, look at little Martha, just little Martha.
Oh my gosh. Okay, yes, please do.
I would love for you guys to connect.
I would love that as well. Like I'm definitely being very intentional this year about, I know I'm going to be living here now because I'm looking to purchase a home. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I need to really be strategic and make connections here. When you live somewhere, you grow up and you just meet people all the time. Like I feel like I know everybody in New York. Bodega owners I know by first names. And so now I'm just like, you know what? I need to be more strategic about making introductions and really getting out and about here, because even I have a score mentor and she says the same thing. She was like, Dawn, there's nobody in the city of Charlotte doing what you do. She was like, I don't know anybody that does it the way that you do it, and you're doing it well. Like, she has a copy, she's getting a copy of the magazine, she knows about it, and so she's just like, yeah, the people in Charlotte that you need to meet would be impressed by what you're doing, and that they will want to work with you in some type of way.
Absolutely. Well, she is definitely a heavy hitter there, so I will connect you. And again, thank you so much. I love this, and I know we're going to be talking, because now we got to talk about this person for May.
Yes. Well, here's the thing: they don't necessarily, have to be on the cover. You make your own cover choices, but she has such an amazing story because her mother went from cotton picking to a college professor with 4 degrees, tenured in psychology, I think. My client has 5 degrees. She's a vice president of a college that is currently in the NCAA, vice president of student affairs at a college. And then her daughter, who is still in college, already has 2 degrees. She already has her master's degree, and she's not even 22.
Yeah, see,
when I think about generational curses, theirs is actually a generational blessing. The mother, so you're not a great grand away. My client's mom used to pick cotton.
Right.
And she ended her life being a college professor with 4 degrees. Her children have multiple degrees. Again, I was like, my client one-upped her mother by getting 5 degrees. You have 5 degrees. She has a PhD. Like, you have 5 degrees, and now your daughter's getting her start, and she already has 2, and she's not even 22 years old.
Correct.
So I'm like, when I think about Mother's Day and just, we always hear people talk, especially in the Black community, about generational curses. But this is a generational blessing that a mother was able to come out of the cotton field and value education in such a way that she went aggressively towards education. And then she has 2 children who are both highly educated. My client plays the piano, like she tennis. She does all of these things. And then now her kids are doing the same thing. So I just think that we always hear again about the curses. drug
Right.
addiction, trauma, things of that nature. And I'm like, no, this is generational blessings of
Yeah.
their pursuit of higher education as Black women. Yeah, that's the story.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's the story.
We are done with covers for this year, but
Yeah.
we still have time to share that story. So
Okay.
I get with you on the details for that, where we can get it dropped in May. And of course, April comes out Saturday.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Yeah, so I will definitely be in the stores. Like I said, I plan on doing a little pop-up in Barnes and Nobles and Walmart. I keep forgetting that Walmart sells magazines. You know what? Because there's the superstores, and I know exactly where to go. Again, another 3 miles right from home. Yeah.
The books, and there they are. Yeah.
I know. Oh my God, I always forget. You need to try to get in Target.
I have been trying. Like, oh my God, I have been trying. I just recently said they had me on the wait list for so long. I'm just going to have to hire someone to get me in Target, or because it has been like pulling teeth.
I'm trying to think. Somebody. You know what? Okay, I think I know somebody. A children's author. Her name is Tina Wells, children's book author. Her books, I remember, were in Target, and I believe like she knows someone. I'm gonna reach out to her and find out, because again, any place that has magazines on a regular basis, if whatever you do in Walmart, you could do in Target, and they're so similar. When I think about Black people and businesses, it's Walmart and Target. It's Walmart and Target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we're going to make that happen.
We can make it happen. Yes.
It's going to happen this year. Trust me.
Yes.
Holiday is coming. Juneteenth we're going to figure it out. The universe has heard us, and it's in the works. It's in the works. So listen, I am going to be coming your way this summer.
Okay.
I'm going to be going to NABJ, the National Association of Black Journalists. It's in Birmingham that first week of August, I believe. But I'll be in Atlanta probably like May.
Okay.
And I definitely want to make sure.
In Chicago, the second week of May. So there's a library that has subscribed to the magazine, and she has all 35 copies. And she's just honored how her population has been. Yeah, it's South Holland Library, and it's right outside of Chicago. But she is just so impressed with it. So I said, well, I'll be in Chicago the second week of May, and I would love to. I can't do a reading, but I would love to just gather.
Do a talk about it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations to you on that. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So yes, whenever you head this way, just hit me up. You can either hit me up on the hip, or you hit me up on the email and just let me know. But I have truly enjoyed you, and this is awesome. And it's only the beginning.
I know. Yes. Thank you so much, Tia. Thank you for making me a part of your Resilient Magazine cover family. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You're welcome. So I'll email you, and we could do business as usual.
Yeah.
All right. Have a good one.
Good night.
Good night.